Oh, that's a good start. Cough, cough, splutter, splutter. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Metaworld News. You're about to hear our headlines for the week ending the 13th of September.
We got a month there, right? Right.
2020. Yeah, I was going to forget that. I remember the date, but I mean, not the month. Never mind,
What
never
what
mind.
year are
Short,
we
short.
in? Right.
Oh, I don't know. Just it's the year that would never have happened, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the one that should have been between 2019 and 2021. Although it may, of course, it may be 2021 doesn't happen either.
Yeah.
Depends on how long the gap happens before we can start using a normal calendar again, I think.
All right. Yeah.
Wouldn't
So
it be nice if
so
we could just look back in the future and say 2020, that was the year that never was.
right. True.
But
True.
but for the moment, yes, indeed, I do know the year and the days and the I think. 30th headlines for the week ending 13th of September of the year 2020. Yeah. And yep, that would do. That would
That'll
do.
do. That'll
Anyway,
work.
my name is Mal Burns. Mal, one word. Burns, a surname. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, you're gonna you will find that I've been squashed. Yeah, they do this on the interwebs all the while. They squash you. So it's twitter.com/Malburns, Malburns, all one word. Oh, dear me.
Yeah.
And they've done it to our other Twitter feed too. We've got Metaworld News, which they've squashed together as one word. Twitter.com/Metaworld News,
The
all in
things
one.
we do to bring people information, the
Indeed.
sacrifices we make,
Yeah.
getting
I don't know,
squashed.
I feel like, I feel like a virtual sardine. Everywhere I go online, I've been squashed.
Yep.
It is just too much indeed. Anyway, at least I'm not squashed in Southall here at the moment, as far as I
No.
know, where
No.
our studio is at the moment. So, yeah, we're fine here. Anyway, as I said, I'm Mal Burns, and I'm also joined by James Outloud here, who you've heard in the background. He's sort of filling our video knobs off screen, so you can share my desktop with you and things like that while I'm talking,
I do my best.
and comment from time to time too. He does his best. Right. Okay, so I've done all the obligatory announcements we need to get started with. And before I actually, oh, by the way, the links I will mention and show you on screen if you missed them or whatever, you go to the Twitter feed and you'll find full links that take you direct to the news articles in question. You may be wondering, well, you may be wondering that as if James has shown it you. Yeah, you might not have done. On my screen at the moment, there is a simple illustration, and this appeared earlier in the week, and I'm still not sure whether it's official, though it is doing going the rounds.
Hmm.
And it is thought that this is the new Zuckerberger logo.
Oh.
If you look carefully, you will see there's the V for virtual, there's the A for augmented, and there's the X for extended. Um, and the R, it looks really uncomfortable actually. It's in, I think that's part of the old Facebook font or something. But I don't know whether it's actually confirmed that that will be it. But of course, there's a Oculus Connect, or rather Facebook Connect as it's been rebranded, conferencey thingy coming up. I think it's this week, so no doubt it's quite possibly real or something or part of that. No doubt there will be a lot of news coming out of that. And would that I was able to ignore it. I've got a feeling that such is the nature of things, I can't. Very interesting that there have been a few events happening on all these newer platforms at the moment. And according to Robert Scoble, yes, it was Robert Scoble just now, sort of he he'd been into a newly revamped event in Altspace VR, and he was comparing it to Fastbox Horizons, and well, not a kind word really about the Fastbook Horizons,
Hmm.
but the Altspace VR, which I think is a rather substandard platform in some ways, still beats what Facebook are doing hands down. So I mean, At least there's a bit of bright news on the horizon there, isn't there?
Interesting. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So anyway, I thought I'd show you that picture because it's up, and I don't think I've really got any other pictures. Oh yeah, this is rather distressing. Um, Hopefully you'll be able to. Actually, maybe you shouldn't be seeing it, but never mind.
Oh,
Um,
oh yeah. There you go.
yeah, yeah. This
Look out,
is
YouTube.
a Yeah, well, what can we do? This is supposed to for a charity reporter. They do quite a few items that I do include, but as I've said before, they get involved in a lot of sort of VR porn and sort of a lot of advertising for the women that you can go and do things with in
Yeah,
VR,
yeah.
etc. But this is a post about VRX City, and I just thought there was something very funny about this because you can interact with real erotic stars, and top of the list is in the Oval Office
Yeah.
or a private jet. Gamers can now interact with real erotic stars in the Oval Office, a private jet, a harem, and many other settings, party, etc., etc. So, yeah, we had to stick that one in, didn't we? I better get rid of it because it is slightly risque.
Hmm.
And I don't know whether we have this is Blair McIntyre from Mozilla Hubs and in my snippets department, as it were. And I quite this word. I love seeing people angrily tweet when they finally realise Facebook is evil and disgusting. When Facebook does something related to something they care about, instead of just harming all those other people. How could this be that Facebook is indiscriminately evil? And I don't know if that's the actual. Do you know, after all that, I don't think that's the clip I intended to.
Oh,
Never mind,
well,
never mind. Let's put everything away and get on with the real stuff now. And yes, I'm looking at the screen in world, and I can see that we have what we need. And in
yep.
order to, I just go reposition the broadcast frame slightly so you can read the whole width or most of it anyway. This is the Ghost House, a blog about virtual reality startup and staff, and they have several posts a week, but they always have this one on the Monday of every week, the XR Week Peak. Yes, the roundup of all the week's news. This came out on Monday, of course, so it's the week, not the week just gone by for us, but the week that had just finished when we did the last show. But they capture a load of stuff that we didn't, and I didn't get around to covering. So it's always a very good roundup. The actual website for the Ghost Towels is scarredghost.com. So you want to go to um, where is it? Yes, SKARREDGHOST.com. And that's where you'll find the XR Week Peak. Top news of the week, basically. Rumors about Oculus and the Fastbook and stuff, Nvidia cards, the new ones. Um, Facebook has halted the sale of Quest in Germany. Yeah, the EU is proving problematic for
Mm-hmm.
Zuckerberg. Um, right. Oh, yeah. FRL Research is working towards giving you audio superpowers. I think that connects to the Zuckerberg thing there. Oh, no, no. The Facebook have shown off a pair of smart glasses or something that have super audio in them or something rather than. Um, right. Yeah. Yes, here it is. Filters the audio as you wish, which is well, it's all part and parcel of virtual, I suppose. But there's just a bit of there's a bit of a sideline there, really. Um, HTC have lost their CEO. New HP from Hewlett Packard. I was listening to Joanna something from Hewlett Packard talking on video during the week. um, which is unusual. I don't normally go to those things that are specifically brand orientated, but she was very informative. Right, Magic Leap. Nobody seems to know whether it's dying or reviving. It's They say it's worth a bit more than 450 million US dollars, but that's actually not very much compared with what it was worth at one point.
Yeah.
Um, Again, Burning Man, of course, had been the big event of that week. So I think we'll put this aside. But this is where you want to go every Monday for the best news. There'll be another one tomorrow, I'm quite sure. You just go to Scarred Ghost, that's with a K, .com. So, goodbye. It's got a ghost for now. Oh, what's happening here? There we are. Okay,
Hmm.
now, pretty little picture.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a sucker for pretty pictures. This actually is to illustrate the Burning Man. The Burning Man multiverse is a constellation of digital platforms created in lieu of the usual desert gathering. The photo there is copyright the Burning Man project. So it's very recent. So I don't know why it says copyright 89. um, but this article, although you can't see the logo, is actually at the New York Times. So the address, it's basically their take on this. And, we're talking about coverage here in a rather big paper, the New York Times. The address you want is nytimes.com, nytimes.com. And it's an opinion piece from September 3rd, earlier in the week, saying, is virtual man the internet's ultimate test, which is kind of interesting. They haven't talked about metaverse or virtual reality or anything like that. They actually say the internet's ultimate test,
Mm-hmm.
which is an interesting sort of take on it. Anyway, they examine it basically. The cyberdelic extravaganza is online for the first time because of the pandemic. Maybe that's not as strange as it might seem. It isn't actually. It's been highly successful. So it's a bit of retrospective there, and let's see, September the 3rd. It was sort of, I imagine it was written while it was still sort of going on or getting to the end. Um, Look at the faults of the real world and what went super well on the real world.
Yeah.
Larry Harvey, he's the co-founder of the actual Burning Man Festival in 2011. I thought it was. I thought Burning Man was before 20. I'm sure there's been Burning Man earlier than 2011.
I wouldn't know. Sorry.
No, I got a bet. It wasn't mine, but I remember borrowing off somebody who had this, got sent this wonderfully big book, celebration of the Burning Man.
The
So
calendar
the
has
what?
lost all meaning for me, so I don't remember anything.
Yeah, but no, well, exactly. But I do remember that this was at least this is can't have been much past the turn of the century, really early O's. Anyway, I'm nitpicking with them. Um, Yeah, so yeah, and a lot of this is extracted from Radical Ritual, which is a book called How Burning Man Changed the World, and
Hmm.
by an author named Neil Shister. Better be careful pronouncing that one, of course, but there we go. Right, so you'll find this at nytimes. I forgot what it was now. Yes, it's a .com. nytimes.com, and a pretty picture to boot. Actually, that's the sort of picture that if it's big enough, it'd be fun to download and use as a desktop picture, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
I
Wikipedia says Burning Man's an event held annually since 1986. So, yeah,
yeah,
much longer than
that's more
2014.
like
That's more in
2011,
line with their
2011.
thinking,
But
right?
yeah, I'm sure it was gone back to the 90s. So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean it's
yep,
very small at the beginning, but yeah,
right, right,
but the 90s is getting pretty big, I'm sure. So
yep.
okay, well, New York Times, eat your well,
Well, maybe this fellow was the organizer.
co-founder of the Burning Man Festival in 2011. I think they got that wrong. So
Maybe
let's
the festival's
anyway, let's
different than something. Uh,
yeah put that one away. Oh right, now here's a bit of an information thing really. Um, right, this is let's see. It's just a link from the feed, really. Open Simulator Community Conference. This is really Metaworld News' department, but the feed. But basically, it's a link where you can send your email, name and address, and email address, and subscribe to get information about it. But it
yeah.
does have the date on it. The date is now official. It's going to be December the 5th to the 6th of that same year again, 2020. It keeps popping up, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
and we're
Wish them
working
luck.
on. We've got some new website technology. We're hoping to improve a little bit. So we at
Ah,
Avicon.
yeah.
Yep.
Of course, I keep forgetting you're the. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. I haven't been to any meetings this year at all, and I don't really intend to. Although I will probably do my two lunchtime panels. as it were. But I'm fairly I'm not really involved in the organisation this year, so
It's work.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, quiet and yeah, it's yeah, and do things a bit slower these days.
Mhm.
I went to Chilbo earlier in the week
Oh,
too,
you did.
and
Okay.
well, just because the little memorial um,
For Tara.
is yeah
Yeah,
is
yeah.
there,
Yep.
and I sent Shannon, her niece, who's also a Second Life avatar, the link to go and see it.
Oh, very
Lots
nice.
of cat,
Nice.
nice little cats on fireplaces and things, and she would appreciate it, I'm sure. Anyway,
Excellent.
moving on. So, yeah, the link for that, by the way, should be bloody obvious, shouldn't it? Oh, well, it's not though. Okay, the link there is conference. That's CONFERENCE dot, and then Open Simulator. Again, two words been squashed, so they've got a squash job on them too. Dot OPENSIMULATOR .org. So conference.opensimulator.org. And I guess it will get you there because the link then has a backslash with 2019 in it,
Yeah. Uh,
which I don't think is right because, as you can see, it says 2020 there. So be forgiven if they
yeah,
did
and
skip 20.
that whole 2019 part of the URL should go away. We're hoping.
Yeah. Well,
It's been a frustration. Yeah.
yeah, well, it should go away, but it's not on the link I copied. Put it another way. So,
Yep.
yeah. Anyway, putting that away for now, talking putting things away, and there's not much more of a graphic there really. Oh, this is really funny. Now, this is Liverpool in Britain, you know, the place the Beatles came from.
The Beatles.
This is supposed in the Liverpool Echo. Um, their address is Liverpool, yeah, liverpoolecho.co.uk. You probably don't need me to spell that, but anyway, LIVERPOOLECHO dot UK. And no calendar, dismiss, please. Thank you. The bizarre story at Liverpool's £16,000 virtual reality island. It's odd. It's just obviously it's in Britain here, so it sort of gets priority on my news feeds when they're coming in. Anything in the UK tends to come before anything else. I love that video loading. Not getting very far there, are we? They had a virtual reality philharmonic concert, and this was all in 2017. And they created Hope Street, which is a local street in a parallel universe. Um, and let's see, I don't know whether they. Oh yeah, there's their Vasily Petrenko's avatar welcoming visits to the virtual harmonic hall in Second Life. That one is. Um, yeah. Anyway, it's just a sort of nice little retrospective on Liverpool in the metaverse. Although they do, this does seem to be pretty much all Second Life. Um, I did actually have a podcast collaborator from Liverpool in Open Sim. Don't know what's happened to now. He basically had a Liverpool radio station, and then he sort of he did it from a simulator in Open Sim, and the radio station was actually at it was where was it? Yeah, it was at Metaworld sort of build on the Great Canadian Grid. But anyway, he sort of disappeared after a while, and um, that put paid to the Liverpool connection. Anyway, as I say, Liverpool Echo there. If you want a bit more about that one, I'm sure there's some folks watching who have friends in Liverpool or like Liverpool and so whatever. David Burden keeps on popping up everywhere these days. He is, of course, this managing director of Data Limited, which is also in Britain here, up in Coventry, another Midlands area concern. They're like Coventry and Liverpool aren't far from each other. They tend to have joint events and things. Anyway, David has written on Aura, which I think is another private imprint of Medium or stuff, but there's no paywall involved that I can find. Well, it didn't stop me anyway. And from digital personas to a digital afterlife. Um, I think he's got time on his hands in lockdown, because he's really taken up to writing things, and he's chosen some really interesting subjects, to write about, more sort of philosophical, shall we say, than the strictly technological and scripting based stuff that he writes about as Dayton. Anyway, as you can see, quite a short but comprehensive article. 4-minute read is what Medium reckons for that one. So, how do you get to it? You may well be asking, of course. Um, and that is actually a very good question. Oh, yes, here we are. Okay, it's AURA dot page. So AURA dot PAGE, um, backslash articles. And the name of the article is From Virtual Personas to a Digital Afterlife. You'll no doubt see it when you get that far. Or follow the direct link at twitter.com, Malburns, as it were. So all these have been 6 days ago. So let's move on. And right, I think we move forward. Yes, no proscenium, or however we pronounce them. I'm never sure. Yeah, this is September 6th. This is a 7-minute read, they reckon. This is actually at Medium, but the no prosecution oh, wait a minute, bit doesn't seem to require the paywall thing, so that is more or less fine. Um, the only problem I have here is I've got to scroll upwards, I suppose. Everything. Oh yeah, everything immersive. That's the one. Right. So the link you want here is noproscenium.com, and then the article is everything immersive. Here's the spelling for the website: noproscenium.com. And yeah, another roundup. Really, what can you say? All these are very good. They make life a bit more interesting for me, I must say, because I get through so many things via direct feeds, and then I get to sites like this, and I think, oh, I didn't read that. So there are these lovely sort of aggregated sites that do a bit of what I do in many ways, but come up with different things. So. Um, but they tend to have slightly different focus as well. And yeah, you've got links in here for their own podcast too. Um, I don't know which dates the don't know for sure what date that would be. The dates the date for this, which would have been Tuesday, but the podcast was already out by then, so it was probably a day or two before. Anyway, as I said, no and look, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to read it out again. You can go to Twitter to get it, or you can look at it very carefully now. Yes, it's on screen. It's Noproscenium. It's easier for me to read out the letters than it is to pronounce it, you see. So, in my case. Okay, so that's what you want for that roundup. Let's see if we can get our window to close. Yes, there we are. Relative, relative, yeah, sorry, relative T, not relativity, relative T is an open source VR headset. It's got a bit of mention during the week, but
Hmm.
yeah, mostly, as you can imagine, the people that are not happy about Facebook and Oculus are delighted when they hear of something coming up like this. The chap and his best friend were 15 years old. They built their own headset because they couldn't buy one. Um, and Relativity, I don't know how you meant to pronounce that without accidentally doing it wrong. One of the world's most popular open source VR headset, and you can make it for $200. It's not actually a consumer product. You have to have a soldering iron and a 3D printer, but they do tell you how to do it, basically. And as I said, quite a few people posted this link during the week because they're obviously quite. Oh, there's a Discord server for them as well. Um, it's a DIY thing, but it's cheaper and possibly an alternative to the Zuckerberg empire
Hmm.
building
Hmm.
strategies and stuff. So, did I give you the link for that?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either, and I can't find it. Well, we did. Trust me. Oh no, there it is. Right, yes, it's relativity. No, it's not relative. It's right. RELATIVITY.com. Do not put relativity. Do it like you see it written at the top there. Relative T and .com, and then that will get you to that article. That is a very well,
Yeah.
yeah, another awkward one. Almost as bad as promiscuity. Promiscuity.com, wasn't it? I mean,
Right, right.
oh dear, if it's not squashed, it's just absurd. The world of the web in 2020,
Hmm.
half of it's squashed and the rest is absurd. Right, virtual desktop to add Mac OS support is full beta available now. Right. If I hate to have to mention Oculus, but you've got Oculus Go and Oculus Quest, and you've got another headset called Gear VR. All of these have a program in them, or you can download it at least, called Virtual Desktop, which allows you to interface with your computer desktop, but in 3D in virtual reality. Um, I guess it's popular for people who actually like spending time in these headsets. I imagine it's not so popular for people who just have a headset there for emergencies. Um, However, the good news is that for people like me, well, it's not people like me because I don't have the relevant headset. Actually, I do. I've got Go, come to think of it. Um, but apparently, it's going to add Mac operating system support in the fall as well. At the moment, if you use it, I think you just get Windows
Yep.
in virtual reality, but you'll now be able to get the Mac OS in virtual reality too.
All right.
So that's a it obviously must be fairly popular because they're developing all this stuff. Um, and yeah, the beta's available already. Um, oops, oh, I probably won't hurt. Um, they got a Discord channel here you can join for chatting too. Virtual desktop, it's called, and I'm not going to register now. I'll do that later. I may already have done it anyways. I don't know why I clicked that button. Um, yeah, that's about all there is to it, really. It is really simply that you can now use a beta version with the Mac, and there'll be a full version coming along later in the fall. Right, this oh, sorry, and I missed this one too, didn't I?
Yeah.
This one is Upload VR. Oh dear, getting bad now, aren't we? UPLOADVR.com. And then that's where you go for that one. All right, put it away, put it away. Okay, all right, now I can see where we are. Okay, this is the interesting link. This is WFMZ.com. WM, sorry, WFMZ is, I guess it's a radio
Radio
station,
station. Yeah.
69 News. I guess the FM in the middle is probably for FM. I don't know what the rest of it is. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because follow the link you get here. They've got an article here which is quite American fine art expanding collecting through VR viewing. This is increasingly happening with galleries and stuff, but for actual exhibitions being put online so you can go and visit an exhibition instead of in a real life gallery online. And of course, you can look around and, possibly buy paintings and whatever you are, the replicating the real world galleries really and their functions. Um, this one just seems to be, local one, American Fine Art partnership with Art VR, a virtual reality art gallery software company. In other words, the software company specializes in art galleries, basically. And yeah, Showcase Gallery mimics their Scottsdale, Arizona gallery by the look of it. And I think, without going back and reading this, I think basically this um, it's slightly more elaborate than an individual gallery. In other words, I think it gives you access to Oh, I've lost my screen again. My screen never goes off until it's supposed to go off when I'm
Mm-hmm.
idle, and of course
Mm-hmm.
it never does. But then when I'm, oh, I don't want. Sorry, something's trying to change my app. There we are. Back on screens again. Yeah, I think this is a wide range basically of art to look at. It's not just like one exhibition of one local artist or anything else. It's quite a lot of stuff. So anyway, it's I've always quite liked looking at art galleries, even back at well, I even made one in Second Life at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but just little pixel posters of friends and a couple of my own things actually from way back. Yeah, so that is I've forgotten it again. I've forgotten it again. No, it's not relative.
It's the
W
FM radio
Duff
station, right? Right.
WFMZ.com is what you need for that one. Okay, put it away, boy. Right. Back to Britain. Now we're civilized again. BFI, British Film Institute. They have a London Film Festival every year, and they've announced a showcase for immersive media. The expanded strand is a dedicated venue for immersive media at the Legacy Festival. Now, I presume the Legacy Festival is going to be pretty virtual this year anyway, too. It can't be anything other than that. Um, this year's festival will be offered virtually, but will include a new dedicated showcase for immersive media. Um, uh, they're also going to be showcasing a musical experience called All Kinds of Limbo.
Hmm.
That's quite a nice name. By the way, I'm thinking of starting a new blog. Not that I ever do the old ones, but I thought I did the old what's it called? Cole Porter, I think, or whatever. Sort of I thought I was calling the blog "Let's Face the Music and Dance,"
Okay.
given the contemporary nature. Fill it with all sorts of stuff that is, sort of, yeah. We've got face the music, haven't we?
Right.
Online. Let's dance. I don't know, but actually now I've seen that all kinds of limbo. I quite like that phrase too. So yeah, that appeals to me. A lot of 3D, 360-degree films and stuff, as well as interactive um, installations. You can get, no, sorry, that's for the website. Right. Do you know, I can't see at a glance, I can't see any dates on this. Um, but given we're September the 11th here already, it can't be. It can't be. There's not too many months to go, really, is there? Anyway, yeah, you can find out about this one anyway as AR Post. So this is the same place where it has a lot of the, shall we say, what they call porn VR links. So do be careful if you go to the front page. I would just endeavour to find you the actual page. Yeah, arpost.co. And well, unfortunately, when you get there, you probably are going to get a host of articles. Um, if you follow the link from my Twitter address, it will take you directly to this page, so you'll be able to bypass all the 3D babes displays,
Okay.
as they seem to be called. Yeah, and subsequent links too, which are easy to click on. Right, all kinds of limbo. Anyway, sounds like fun. Okay, let's put that one away. All right. Voices of VR. Where will we be without a week of Voices of VR? This is actually the only one I've got posted linked here. I think there was one other one. Um, he's joined, it's a critics roundtable on Venice VR Expanded 2020 with Paula Wa and Catherine Yu. Now, I don't know where all these people come from. Catherine Yu is actually the executive editor of No Pronunciation, No Prosec. You know the one I mean.
Okay.
She's the executive editor. No Proscenium. There we go. She's the executive over there. Polar uh, Wace, or I don't know. She's the founder of VR Stories. And oh, maybe it's just the two of them. Yeah, and of course, Kent Bai is hosting it, of course.
Mm.
Um, so a podcast to listen to there. Um, 2 hours 24. So yeah, that's an easy one. I'm not going to play it. Tempting little bit of music to get you in there. Nice and mild music. It's not blasting me off my seat. Yep. Okay, so to check out this and other recent ones, you simply want to go to voicesofvr.com, which is easy enough when you know how.
Right.
But I've lost it. Um, oh yeah, there we are. Voicesofvr.com. So voicesofvr.com. All squashed together there, of course. What else? Right. Moving on, we're on VentureBeat. Yep, so this is fine. This is standalone headsets are really finally ready to make a big leap forward. And they've got a Calcom thing there. That looks like a drawing almost. And when you see these things, I know you can see the bit where the nose is meant to go and stuff, but I keep thinking I'm not really sensing the real size, even though I can try and imagine the nose there, because this looks like a pair of glasses, but I bet you if I pick them up, they would be anything but. Um, anyway, this is at, let me see, VentureBeat. VentureBeat is the name of the site. So it's easy. VentureBeat.com. VentureBeat.com. And yep, they're looking at standalone stuff here. Um, Again, a bit of a broad view. They mention the Oculus thingies, but they've got HTC 5, the Snapdragons, the stuff. They're actually, it's a general article here. It's not promotion for the Zuckerberg or anything. Quite a lot to read there. Okay, so as I said, that one is at venturebeat.com. Right, we're getting to the beginning now. All right, now this site is called Tweaktown.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
different.
as in tweaking things. In fact, it's really funny because let me just do this. That's the banner headline,
Oh,
and the
nice. Yep.
lettering and everything. It makes me. It's like Toy Town or something, a
Mm-hmm.
kids program or something. But no, it's just called Tweet Town. Anyway, this is about something called a Saber Grip VR controller that uses shear forces to simulate anything. Gosh golly.
Ooh, yes.
Oh,
Ooh,
now that's a claim if I ever heard
that's a
one.
claim. Yeah.
It's the shear forces help you feel any handheld handle-based tool or weapon in virtual reality. So basically, it's not anything. I mean, I suppose you could hold up a cucumber to be a sword, and it would be able to tell whether it was a cucumber and not a sword. I don't know.
Okay. Yep.
Anyway, the idea is, it senses something you might be gripping. And there again, you've got a picture of I presume this is the Saber Grip controller itself. It's almost like something you hold like a sword and then you just program it. You could, they are lying flat by underneath, by the
Yeah.
way, as well.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. I don't really know how that works. I mean, I can imagine something like the Star Wars lightsaber or something where you've got buttons to program it. So in virtuality, it takes on a different form. So you press button one and it'd be a lightsaber. Press button two and it will be an old-fashioned sword. Um, Press button three and it will be some kind of laser weapon and etc. etc. Um, I don't know how they do it, but anyway,
Well, and
um,
the Beat Saber game is so popular,
yeah.
so that
Um,
that that, that would be the market that they're probably looking at.
If you can calculate a sensation, the controller can interpret the motion and replicate it with shear force plates. So there's obviously some kind of vibrating plates or
Yeah.
something in there. That anyway, I'm not a gamer, and I must say when it comes to
No, say it's not true.
say it's not
You're
true.
not a gamer?
What? Well, I played Myst
Mm-hmm.
and Riven
Yep.
and chess
No, I'm just
and
I'm
Monopoly.
I'm just saying we know this about you, Mel. We know you're not a gamer.
Yeah. I know about defending myself by coming up with games that are sort of not games, right?
Right?
Yeah, exactly. But obviously, I've long since realised this. Just you have to watch the game stuff to realise, especially with haptics and um, platforms. There's so much overlap between the evolution of games, online games, and virtual worlds themselves. You can't divorce everything. You
Just
can simply try and focus yourself in the usable environment
yeah, in the same
space,
way
really.
that pornography leads the trends in media communication.
Yes, indeed, it does.
Yeah.
It's since way back. Actually, something came up. I can't remember what it was, but something came up, and somebody was trying to put a time link on it, and I was saying I've actually got it on the bookshelf here somewhere. It's a hardbound, well, paperbound book, I think. It's got all these strips. They're 3-panel strips mostly. Some are longer from the 1930s. And you look at them, and the art is fairly crude, but you realise sex comics are nothing new.
Oh, right. Right.
As long as they've been able to draw this, I bet you the cavemen now have got galleries somewhere that we haven't discovered yet of
Right. Right.
copulation cavemen and stuff like that. And
Yep.
yeah, never mind. We better
Very
not go
true.
there.
Right.
Better not go there unless it's an archaeological dig that's in VR. Then I'll go there. Right. Okay, so I'm putting that one away. As I said, that is somewhere. Didn't I? Told you where that was. I hope I did because I've forgotten.
Was that Tweaktown?
Yes, that's right. Tweettown.com. Of course it was. Yeah. TWEAKTOWN.com. Thank you, James.
Hmm.
I'm glad you mentioned it because I hadn't actually read that one out,
I
but I
must be
did show you
listening.
I did show you the logo at the beginning of the
Yes. Yep.
piece there, didn't I? So you could read it. Okay. Okay, second from last here. Venice VR curators offer a behind the scenes look at this year's incredible projects. This Anne McKinnon here. Um, a lot of things in that picture are not actually new. They've been covered before. But the 77th Venice Festival handled a lot of this stuff. Now, you've got to remember that most of the festival is online as well as what Liz Rosenfeld here. I'm sure I've got her in all sorts of um, news feeds and stuff like that.
Hmm. That's a
And
VR chat
yeah, so I didn't
virtual world.
associate her with, yeah. This is from Vroom. You remember that?
Yep.
This actual link is at vrscout.com, VRSCOUT.com. But if we look carefully here, look, the video is from Vroom. Yeah, our good old Vroom.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot. What's the other sound effect I'm meant to be able to do? But maybe it's not. We haven't got it out today. Anyway, it's quite a long article with illustrations of all sorts of things. Yeah, like that one and that, and yep, nothing showing sex in the White House, of course. But there again, you can't. That's a sensible site here with proper stuff in it. So that was posted September 12th, which is yesterday. Is that right?
Yesterday, to my
Yes. So
recollection,
today
yeah.
was 13th. So yes, we've zoomed ahead here. So vrscout.com for that. And the last one I got open today is we're back at VentureBeat. And another one that has been getting a lot of links, probably the same links, because of the Fastbook saga. XRSI releases VRAR user privacy framework citing an urgent need.
Hmm.
And the people that link me to this certainly agree with this. I mean, it's the links are being sort of, we need this now. We need this before Zuckerberg takes over the world. Um, Non-profit XR Safety Initiative and its own solution is the XRSI Privacy Framework. And it goes. There's obviously links where you can follow a lot more about this, but it's a sort of roundup of what it's all about, including a little diagram there. And yeah, so you will find that at VentureBeat, and I can go right to the top of my thingy here again now, can't I? Um, yeah, venturebeat.com, VentureBeat. And I wish my monitor's gone to sleep again. It's a good job this doesn't show up at your end.
Oh
The
yeah.
monitor, okay, you'd be watching a black screen. Right, okay. It broadcasts as normal, if nothing else. Right, okay, so that's it for the feed at Malbone. So I'm now quickly gonna switch to Metaworld News and see what we got there. This one, I think we might just have time. Um, yeah, they're actually having daily meetups now at Insomnia Space. Okay, I think I actually grabbed this picture. Um, okay, well no, this is actually just been that was tweeted today. It doesn't. There doesn't seem to be. Okay, it's probably a bit of a mistake for me to put that one in. There's no actual link in that to the actual location for you to go to, so it's quite literally advertising the fact they have their daily meetup. It used to be weekly, but apparently it's just now gone daily. It takes place at 10 in the evening in Central European time. So that I think is 9 p.m. here in the UK, and that is 1 p.m. In Pacific time. So that is literally in an hour or two's time. Yeah, it's nearly that's in a couple of hours' time. So if you're into Somnium Space and stuff, bear in mind they have a daily meeting. You can probably find more on their Discord channel or whatever. Now, how did I get there? And how do I get back? So I have to do this again. There we are. Back to user. Talking of something in space, by the way, I haven't got a link for this, but I did read somewhere that they obviously the Burning Man festival, and they were one of the major places it all happened, is over. But I think due to popular demand or something, they're bringing back the build of the player so that you can actually get it. They're bringing it back online so you can go and explore and stuff like that. So it's probably like, sort of if you miss the actual thing, then you can go and look at the um, the
Oh, so
remnants
it
of
was
it.
it was taken down?
Apparently, yeah, I think it
Ah,
was
okay.
Insomnia in Space. I mean, I get confused to be honest
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's so many different venues, have been doing this stuff.
yeah.
Um, it was up when I went there, of course, but yeah. This, by the way, is a YouTube. Let's see. The YouTube account here is a guy called John Harvey, and this is reflections on a week spent on the virtual player and Black Rock City. And my guess is that that is something in space. It's certainly got that kind of look to it. Although I must admit, a big flat player and stuff. Oh no, no, this is no, no. This is Alt Space VR actually, so it
Okay.
just goes to show you still can't tell what platform is what.
Right.
I'm not going to keep this playing because it's actually quite long, but basically, you've got 10 minutes here of a sort of little tour through it. You'll find this at twitter.com/MetaWorld News. You'll find the link, unless you look up John Harvey on YouTube. Okay. Oops. Right, this is 6 days. Oh, sorry. This one. Right, this is actually a talk that was in science space, but hang on, it would have. I'm sorry, we've missed that. It's posted 6 days ago, so it's since last week, but happened midweek, if you see what I mean. So,
Mhm.
um, Okay. There's another YouTube here, which is Ethereal Imprint Temple Burn Ceremony. And this one's 25 minutes long, very pretty and all that. And
Too dark.
the YouTube, yes, it is a bit, isn't it? Oh, that's a bit better. Or is it? No. Right, here you are. The YouTube user is called Temple Burn 2020, and that's who you need to look for. And what the hell happened then? Oh, I see. It's one of my quick buttons. I was trying to put the bloody thing. I don't want it there. I want to open it. Oh, okay, this is my fault. So one of my thingies has made it all pop up. Oh, now it's opening it full screen. That's even worse. Oh dear, oh dear. Never mind. Anyway, so Temple Burn, and that's 25 minutes long. This, so it's quite a nice one. I don't know how on earth I'm meant to get it back to fit there. I suppose I could just reload the page. Let's have a reload. There we are. Get it back to its proper size. So there you can see it. The temple, very Glastonbury like actually with pyramids and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this actually is a very nice little film. It's obviously too long for me to just. Oh, that's no. I think it ends with a burn if I'm right. Yeah, they panned out a bit there for the burn. But yeah, it's nicely filmed. It gives you some long shots that give you a bit of a feel for it too. Sort of almost like it was a real thing. So Temple Burn 2020 is YouTube user for that one. And yep, that seems to be the only really relevant stuff for the week. In why am I? Why is it showing you? Well, never mind. Okay, I did the pictures, didn't I? There's
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
oh yes, yeah, just of interest here. So I need Slack here, right? Tuesday, 8th of no, Tuesday, Sunday 6th was last week. Tuesday the 8th. Here we are. John Harvey's YouTube Burning Man Metaverse we just looked at, and Somnium Space revisiting the persistent social worlds that built on blockchain. Um, There we go. Okay. The now the subscriber you want to hear is Mr. TV space dash mixed reality TV, and again it's Insomnia Space revisiting the persistent social world that's built on the blockchain. So it's just it's an independent, which is nice because oh, there's Arthur, who's actually CEO of Somnium Space. So yeah, where you can guess what's going on there, and it's not my place to actually repeat all this, but you're getting a nice little taster there. And if you follow my link from, oh, you can't in this case, you will need to go to Mr. TV dash Mixed Reality TV on YouTube. Um, I say you can't follow the link because this is coming from what you might call my private stash on Slack, so there's no link to give you. Right, what else did we have there? A new episode of I don't know where that was
The
going.
audio is still
Okay,
going, right? Right.
this is another episode, episode 6 of Deep Down Divers VR. And this features an interview with a lady called Amy Peck, who's an emerging technology strategist, consultant, keynote speaker, founder and member of Endeavor VR. This lasts for 50 minutes, well, 48 to be precise. You'll probably previewed these before, so you'll probably recognise the set. They still
Hmm.
got some animated thing on the wall. um, yeah. Anyway, I forget who the host is here, but as I said, he's got Amy Peck there. Um, Not the most lively of interviews, but I mean, neither are we.
Yeah,
If you didn't see my screen and had to look at me and James behind the desk for 2 hours, I
yeah.
think you'd agree that.
Shall I just leave that?
Yeah,
Just
we
leave the
we
two of
we.
us behind the desk?
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just make a still shot and walk away for an
hmm.
hour, and we can go on Bluetooth headphones and talk from some remote location.
Yeah, we're both leaning in and out a little bit, and then our
Yeah.
mouths. I mean, I guess I could just focus on the mouth, and that
Yeah, at least the
that that would
mouth,
be a
at least
dynamic movement.
at least our mouths are actually moving, which is this. Her mouth doesn't move in this platform. She does nod a bit,
Hmm.
but she's in VR, of course, so she can fiddle around with her arms or stuff. Anyway, as I say, this is if you want this, the place you want to look up or subscribe to is Deep Town Divers VR. And I don't know how often it is. It looks to me, I mean, it can't have been more than 2 weeks ago when the previous one. I don't think it's actually weekly, but it looks like it's regular anyway. So, if you like talk shows, and remember with all these kind of things, including this program itself that I'm on here, you can always just load it and walk away and listen to it like a podcast. You might miss a few visual things on the screen share, but
Right.
I've often thought, it's a podcast with pictures, picture radio, as we used to call it. Well, I used to call it anyway.
Moving
So,
radio
yeah,
with moving pictures.
yeah. Well, I actually called it. I had a thing for a while called picture radio
Ah,
that
okay.
I made using Flash, and basically I mixed audio and video visuals
Right.
and things. So I had on the web, different experiences you could go to, which basically were a soundtrack streamed from somewhere and a flash interactive kind of thing, authored on the page itself, and just meant you could immerse yourself in. Well, some stuff was actually called immersion, believe it or not.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
But picture radio was kind of the thing I liked were very simple things. You could put up like 200 or 300 photographs taken of a destination, and this is oh god, this is Scotland or Ireland. I'm pretty sure it's Scotland. There's a famous cave called Fingal's Cave,
Hmm.
and there's a piece of music by Mendelssohn called Fingal's Cave.
Oh, okay.
So the obvious thing to do is to get a recording of Fingal's Cave and sequence as many photographs as you could fit into the soundtrack. It was that kind of thing. So mixing, say, destinations with music that's been created for them and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
that to me was picture radio. Not that different from the idea they had with the landscape channel, though. Of course, that's full video. Anyway, I'm dwelling on projects past here.
Right, right. Yep.
Let's put that away. And there's another one here. Oh yeah, future VR. Okay, this is YouTube again, and Science Time seems to be what I've got here. Yeah, the user is Science Time, and haven't I right, this is a one-off. I obviously haven't subscribed to this channel, but this one is about the future of virtuality after the pandemic, indeed,
Yeah.
pandemic. It's fairly short. It's only about 4 minutes, and most of the footage is of this guy and his headset. But if you want something to play to people quickly that explains things and whatever. I think what he's getting here is you had the Black Death, and that gave way to the Renaissance. So he
Right,
reckons that
right.
the current COVID pandemic is going to give way to the virtual reality utopia.
Mm. Mm. Well, it's gonna do something,
I
right?
mean, yeah, that long term. that we will be online a lot more. That is for sure, and
Yeah, yeah.
um, things will happen faster now that more people are online, um, to a great extent. But anyway, interesting little film there. And as I say, just go to a user called Science Time, and you'll find this. This was oh, actually, this is dated 9th of May, so I'm sure you'll find it if you look through their videos. Sometimes these come when they come, if you see what I mean. I'll just have a quick look for you, and okay, this is their homepage. Right, it looks like you have to scroll a bit to actually find that one. Although actually the lead one here is a year ago, so go figure. Elon Musk and I know what I'm going to do while I'm here. I'm going to subscribe, just get it out of the way. Can't hurt.
All right.
Just another thing in my subscription list another thing I'll have to click on every day, but never mind. Right, so let's put that away. And I think we've got to the point where I can say we are kind of done.
Oh my. Okay.
Um, uh, yes. See if we've got any other interesting. Yeah, let's just have some picture in view anyway to occupy ourselves while we're just means you got something to put your camera on while we round up if necessary. Oh God, my
What?
monitor's gone. Sorry, my monitor's gone to sleep again. Typical.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't know why it is. It stays on for hours without going to sleep, and as soon as I'm using it, it goes to sleep. Right. So, James, yeah, any thoughts on all that stuff, really?
No, I do like the thought about the in times of pandemic is when people, I mean, society changes, and we know there's going to be
Mm.
change, and the Renaissance again. I think I've said before, Isaac Newton uh, did most of the fundamental math that we use even today while he was in quarantine. So I'm
Uh,
just going to see what's going to come of all this in the future.
I have heard references to that too. Is that
Hmm.
not Isaac Newton particularly, but uh, maybe we've had a few blogs with it on. I don't know. Productivity in quarantine.
Hmm.
No mention of COVID, no mention of the reasons for it, just the way productivity changes and adapts when you are in quarantine. Because if you're embracing everything in the real world, all your senses are full and you've got variety and everything else, then the way your mind works creatively or even mathematically, if you like,
Yeah.
is influenced by all those incoming factors. Whereas when you're in quarantine, you've got a sharp, you've got a much narrower worldview of information coming in, but maybe the mind compensates for that by getting, overly um, focusing more
Right.
on
Yep.
that narrow field, so
Yeah.
to speak. So yeah,
Yep.
interesting.
I wish that would happen to me.
Yeah.
Well, I've improved the show a little bit with the cameras and the stage and all that. So maybe that's my pandemic contribution.
Oh, your pandemic hobby.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, you are still working from home as well with
Indeed, I am.
your
I am.
team at the university.
I'm at
So I
this
mean, it's
desk. Oh my goodness, how many hours are there in a week?
oh, I don't know.
72. More than that.
Well, 40 is the working week, so
Right, right.
I think it's about 120 is the actual number, isn't it?
I'm at this desk way too much.
40 is 8 hours a day, so we're given we got 25. Yeah, it must be 120 hours,
It must
something
be a
like
bunch of
that.
hours. Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
that includes
in this
sleeping
little
hours, but.
space.
Oh,
Yep.
oh well, at least you got variety. You got this. This show makes a
Oh
change
my
from
goodness,
the.
and without the internet, it would be a very different thing.
Yeah, and of course, this show is very different from the stuff you're slogging away at
That's right.
most of the week, I
Yep.
imagine. So
Yep.
yeah, yeah. No, it's sort of yeah, but I think there's something a bit deeper. Um, Because arguably, if you'd been asked me at the beginning of March, I'd have said, that, well, most of my life is online anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in lockdown, but I don't go out that much unless I've got a good reason to. And my, hobbies and social life is all online, permanently connected video, audio, everything else. So the lockdown, and now speaking of Slim Warrior was the one who said this. So she said that actually, when I think about it, the lockdown has not made a huge change to anything
Mm-hmm.
in terms of the lockdown itself. It's things outside of the lockdown and surrounding you that, as a result of it, that are where you're actually seeing the changes.
Right. Right.
So I'm finding I'm reflecting a bit and changing the way I do things and refocusing a bit. But it's not because of the lockdown per se, because I'm locked down. It's because, as a result of the lockdown, the things I cover, the things I've interested, have got taken on a slightly different shade of um, worldview.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, changes come in all sorts of ways, and I say hard to look at this time and say it's exciting, but I think there's a bit of it that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, people aren't talking about this yet on news or anything like that, but I mean, I think we're going to have a hell of a winter here in Britain. It sounds
Oh,
like
here too.
America won't help too,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
the cold weather is coming. That means that things like the moisture, that the little things when people cough and the virus stays in the you know
Yeah.
specks of moisture. In hot weather, it evaporates quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But in cold weather, that's when you get it. People get it on their hands and they start spreading it and stuff like that. So obviously now we're moving into winter again. That is a bad sign because we haven't got the it under control
Yeah.
in the summer. But we're getting the first signs that it is the second wave or whatever they call it. Well, it's probably just an extended part of the third wave, first wave waking up again. It's not under control, and I think it's going to be a lot of change too.
Right. Right.
We worry about the environment. I have done for ages, and in a way, it's linked. If we had a healthy environment with lack of pollution and stuff like that, would the virus ever have happened? I mean, it's okay, pinning it down to Chinese bat
Right.
eating, biting a mouse or something like that. But it's hard to know. Would that, cause them whatever? And of course, your honourable president, of course, reckons it's a Chinese virus anyway, doesn't it? It's a China
The
virus.
China virus. Right.
Yeah, but no, that sort of it's not laughing matter, unfortunately.
No.
But
No. Not at all.
that stuff aside,
Racism is not a laughing matter.
no, yeah, well, exactly. You got that as well.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter and stuff. All these things, I just it's like so much social unrest and need for changes converging all at once. And but the scariest thing is the nationalisation sort of thing.
Yeah.
Britain's got its handful because it can't. If it breaks international law, it won't get a deal with America trade. It's never going to get a deal with Russia for trade after all the back and forth between Putin spying, killing spies in England, and after Hong Kong, we're not going to get a deal with China again. So I mean, at the moment we've got a tiny little deal worth about 1% of GDP with Japan, and I think we've got a couple of even tinier ones with Australia and New Zealand. But I mean, we're cutting ourselves off, and by the way we're doing it, we could find ourselves so totally isolated, and with no, inadequate we've got masses of service industries, but we haven't got much manufacturing. Um, but I don't know, people, Extinction Rebellion, if it's possible. I hate to think of it because I'm a bit too old to cope, but the whole fabric of society could actually change.
Mm-hmm.
The government could
Definitely.
fall, and then there could not be a government. So if and the banks can fall, and there won't be a government to bail them out and
Right.
stuff like that. So you'd be in anarchy, and like the violence we've seen on the streets. It's not necessarily Black Lives Matter and all that racist thing. It's just there was something somewhere in Britain the other day. while the police chiefs were just saying it's the nature of the times, frustration, people have been locked down, they come out, they having difficulty coping, and it's reflected in violence from people who would never previously have been like that. And then internationally, you've got China's now doing its own thing, becoming much more, authoritarian. Well, it's authoritarian, but it's China and it's got its walls. There's America and it's got its walls. Never mind the Trump wall. I read that a bit of the Trump wall that was built about a month ago has fallen down because the foundations they laid were rotten. didn't, didn't spend enough money on it. No, never mind.
Do I
But
need to
also,
bring up the rabbit hole graphic, Mal?
yeah, you're right. Yeah, but also you've got Putin's Russia and that, sort of. But the biggest thing is places like Africa and things where whole states are getting drought and hunger, and you've got refugees trying to get out of countries and cross into other countries. And it's not surprising we're trying to shut down Britain's borders, not from the EU point of view, but because you're getting refugees who've come up from Africa and places and into Italy and then crossed over the Alps into France, and now they're trying to get from France into Britain because they think the standard of life is better. And there's going to be more and more of that, And the thing that causes wars and global change is like resources. It's not actually down to the trade itself; it's down to scarcity of resources, and we know what we've done to the planet already. So all this is just compounding.
Yeah, yeah, so true.
Anyway, yeah. So I'm a misery merchant, aren't
Yeah,
I?
yeah. On the other, have you taken a look at my T-shirt today?
I did, yes.
Yeah, isn't that lovely?
I did see.
It,
Yeah, no, yeah, I should have complimented you on that. I actually noticed that way before we came on air, and I
oh,
thought, oh,
okay, yeah.
see, it's you're taking up this thing of a different T-shirt every
I'm
week.
trying. I'm trying. I
Yeah,
should bring the name of the artist too. I just find free shirts in the Sansar store, and this one
yeah,
I thought was great for the program because that's that
yeah,
expresses my feeling entirely. Hmm.
yeah. It's well designed and everything. I mean,
I like the
I'm,
texture too. Yeah, the
yeah. I
fabric.
mean, in Second Life, I got a folder with about 10,000 T-shirts in it. They give
Yeah,
away for this that, and the other, but they're also boring. They're exactly the same, and
yeah,
somebody's just stuck a logo for something on them. They don't, like you say, that one's it's got a background texture too. It actually looks
yeah,
real.
yeah. It's very nice.
Like something you would buy in a shop as
A
opposed to just a
a
plain
waffle
white
knit.
cotton.
Yeah. Yep.
Waffle knit. Yeah,
Mhm.
I like that. A waffle knit indeed.
Mhm.
That's a good phrase.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay, well, I guess we can say goodbye to the folks and tell them we'll see them next week, or at
I
least hope we'll see them next week.
That sounds reasonable to me.
That sounds good. Okay.
Yep.
So I go to invite him to say goodbye to you.
Well, wait, I'm lost. Goodbye to
Yeah,
you.
I've done that one a bit weirdly, haven't I?
Goodbye to
Okay,
you.
it's yeah, and goodbye to you. Goodbye from both of us. Yeah, I messed that one up completely. It's not obvious how to retort. Okay, it's goodbye from both of us. We will be back same time, same place next week. We will see you then. Meanwhile, have a good week and stay safe. Ta-ra.